have to give negativity permission to be inside. And as long as you don't invite it in, you'll be okay and safe. And then you have like so many things tempting around you, like the vampire. So it was so deep. It was so deep. That's the reason I cried for like a whole hour after.
It might not necessarily be like something dark, but these two might have to get out of the way or be shelved for Blue Ivy to really be able to shine.
Chloe Bailey just said something that no other artist under Beyonce's label has ever dared to say out loud. And now, it looks like Chloe is being punished simply for speaking her truth.
I'm not gonna cry.
Now, why is Chloe being punished exactly? Well, she said the quiet part out loud and accused Beyoncé of sacrificing artists who might threaten her dynasty. Chloe and her sister Halle are both vocal powerhouses, but Beyoncé allegedly kept them boxed in. No real support, no space to shine on her tour, no major promotion or streaming push, nothing. All because, according to Chloe, Beyoncé wanted Blue Ivy to be the next her. And let's be honest, Blue Ivy may have the name, but when it comes to dancing and true stage presence, she's nowhere near Chloe's level. Now, the craziest part in all of this is that just one day after Chloe mentioned Blue in a now-deleted interview, her team went completely silent. And the offers? They stopped coming. But Chloe didn't stop talking. She jumped on IG Live and exposed not just the sacrifices happening at Parkwood, but the darker, more disturbing stuff going on behind the scenes across the entire industry. Just to give you a taste, Chloe claimed that the Michael B. Jordan movie Sinners is exactly what really goes down in the music world. According to her, artists are literally dealing with forces that demand something far more terrifying than fame. They want your soul.
After Sinners, I cried. It just reminds you so much of the industry.
So Chloe finally spilled the tea on why her career's been struggling, and she got real with fans during a TikTok live stream. She opened up about the movie Sinners, and while she admitted it's a fun watch on the surface, it also hit her hard emotionally. Chloe broke down the movie's deeper meaning and said all the heavy symbolic stuff reminded her just how dark the music industry really is.
After Sinners, I cried. Do you know why I cried? Yes or no? Or you're just like, Chloe, you cried because you're a crybaby. Just tell me. So I think anyone who, it just reminds you so much of the industry, right? And it's like, you could have a gift like he did with his guitar. And like they said, when he's singing, he's honoring his ancestors and uplifting and all of that, but then it also attracts the not good. So it's like, in order for him to be successful, the vampires were telling him he has to sell out so that he could be, that he could live forever and his music could live forever. And it's exactly like things that I see him go through every day. And that's why I just like broke down crying, because it was showing like the people who decided not to go to the other side, they were in there fighting for their lives, they were in there going through it, while the ones who did give in, they were outside celebrating and having a good time and got things quicker and things like that. So the reason why Sinners resonated with me so much is because it's something that you see every day, and no matter how hard you work, no matter how good of a person that you are, no matter how talented you are, sometimes that's not enough to get you places that you need to be. And that's why Sinners, like, I was crying right after, because I feel like anyone in the industry could really resonate with it.
So if you've seen Sinners, you already know it's partly about twin Smoke and Stack, both played by Michael B. Jordan, who opened a juke joint in 1930s Clarksdale, Mississippi, only to face a whole new kind of evil. Vampires trying to steal the town's culture, stories, and music. Now, back to Chloe. She said she's seen real-life artists forced to choose, either stay true to their art or sell out just to make it big. And here's the strange part. Her live kept getting restricted right after she said that.
Someone restricted this again. Hating. You know what? Anytime I realize or come across someone hating, I'm like, damn, I'm really that great? Someone like little old me, you gonna hate on? Thank you there for that love. So anytime you have a hater, or anytime, you know, people trying to stop you or anything like that, just know that just doubles down on how great you are. Because if you weren't anything special, no one would be putting in all this energy to stop you.
But fans aren't just backing Chloe because of Sinners. They're starting to believe the real reason her career isn't taking off boils down to one person, Beyoncé. That's right, more and more people are pointing fingers at Beyoncé, with some even claiming she might be sabotaging Chloe on purpose. But why would Beyoncé sign Chloe? Just to sync her debut project? Was there a hidden agenda from the very beginning? Well, some fans have a theory that Beyoncé only signed Chloe to keep the spotlight warm until Blue Ivy was old enough to step in. And now that Blue's starting to make waves, Beyoncé's making sure the path stays clear for her heir. And let's be honest, the way Beyoncé's been steadily pushing Blue into the spotlight, that's definitely not random.
Why does 13-year-old Blue Ivy look like she's 25? No one realizes that she has never been allowed to have a real childhood like grooming. When Blue Ivy recently performed on stage with her mother Beyoncé during the Cowboy Carter tour, she frequently changed her looks. At only 13 years old, she wore 5 sets of high-end, custom-made outfits in one night of the premiere. Tasseled leather pants, a corset, and sequined gloves. All these were the treatments that celebrities received.
Now, some folks in the industry have already called out Beyoncé and Jay-Z for doing way too much to make Blue Ivy happen. Remember when 50 Cent hinted that the Carters bought Blue a Grammy when she was just 9 years old?
But you see, the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. Right. They don't rap yet, and they already have Grammys and shit. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming.
And love him or hate him, you've got to admit, Blue Ivy having a Grammy feels like a slap in the face to artists with real talent who've actually put in the work, including Chloe Bailey. Now, for some context, Chloe got her big break back in 2015 when Beyoncé signed her and her sister Halle after their viral cover of Pretty Hurts. Just 2 weeks after Chloe and Halle posted that cover on YouTube, Beyoncé's management company, Parkwood Entertainment, offered them a $1 million record deal for up to 6 albums over 5 years. Chloe and Halle made their professional debut in 2016 with the EP Sugar Symphony, and later that same year, they joined Beyoncé as the opening act for the European leg of the Formation World Tour.
We're opening up for Beyoncé on the Formation Tour in Europe, so we're so excited.
Very excited.
Yeah.
It's gonna be so much fun.
Between 2017 and 2020, Chloe and Halle dropped a mixtape called The Two of Us, along with 2 studio albums, The Kids Are Alright and Ungodly Hour, all under Beyoncé's label. And critics loved them. But things took a turn in early 2021 when Halle moved to London to film Disney's The Little Mermaid and Chloe officially launched her solo career. That's when Chloe started shifting her image, and fans began to notice. Some started saying she was throwing away her real talent by leaning too hard into a sexy persona. And after Chloe dropped a bizarre cover of Nina Simone's Feeling Good in July 2021, social media lit up, with many fans saying Beyoncé was steering her in the wrong direction. Now, clearly, Chloe was killing it vocally, no doubt about that. But doing these over-the-top sexualized dance moves while performing a Nina Simone song from the civil rights era, a song that was never meant to be sexy, just felt completely off. And that's when fans really started questioning whether Beyoncé was even putting any real effort into Chloe's music. A lot of people felt the label had taken the lazy route, over-sexualizing Chloe instead of nurturing and building on her actual talent. But the backlash got even louder after Chloe dropped the video for her debut single, Have Mercy. Fans dragged it for looking cheap, tacky, and even disturbing. Some went as far as calling the video demonic, saying Chloe literally looked possessed. And instead of stepping in to redirect her career, Parkwood kept making one bad decision after another, each one backfiring harder than the last. After Have Mercy, Chloe released Treat Me. And once again, it leaned heavily into the same overly sexualized vibe. Basically, everything that followed Have Mercy felt forced, provocative, and way too focused on image over substance. And the weirdest part? Parkwood just seemed to leave Chloe out there, flailing, like they threw her in the deep end and walked away. Every move since that video has been a misfire, and Chloe couldn't even get a lifeline from her own label boss, a literal superstar. It just didn't make sense. Fast forward to January 24th, 2023. Chloe announced her debut solo album, In Pieces. Shortly after, she released the lead single, Pray It Away, and this time she kept things clean, both in the lyrics and visuals. But Pray It Away didn't land the way it was supposed to. It was underwhelming, forgettable, especially for a lead single. And then things got worse. Her second single from the album was a collab with Chris Brown, and that seriously read a lot of people. It felt off, especially knowing Chris's history with Rihanna, who was once signed to Jay-Z. Now sure, Chris and Rihanna's past has nothing to do with Chloe directly, but still, it was a strange choice to pair her with him, especially considering how protective Beyoncé is of her own image and reputation. But that wasn't even the worst part. The entire In Pieces album ended up being a major flop. Fans were heartbroken to see Chloe's talent wasted on a project that felt so manufactured, so unfocused, like the label didn't even have a clear vision for her. And then came the strangest move of all. Chloe didn't even include two of her most well-known songs, Have Mercy and Treat Me, on her debut album. And for an artist just launching her solo career, that decision made zero sense. To top it all off, In Pieces barely scraped onto the Billboard 200. It debuted at number 119 and sold just a little over 10,000 units in its first week. Now compare that to Chloe and Halle's second album as a duo, Ungodly Hour. That one debuted at number 16 on the Billboard 200, sold 24,000 units in its first week, and even scored a Grammy nomination. So what exactly was Parkwood doing wrong with Chloe? Was Beyoncé really sabotaging her? On purpose? Well, a lot of people think Beyoncé deserves at least some of the blame, because truthfully, she did nothing to promote Chloe's solo work on social media. Even The Breakfast Club brought this up, with DJ Envy saying Beyoncé could have done more, especially considering she's the one who handpicked Chloe to be a Parkwood artist.
Like if you're signed to somebody's record label, right, or you are in business with somebody, that's part of what you assume or what you think, right? If I'm an artist and I sign to anybody, and I seen Jay-Z do it to his biggest artists, Beanie Siegel, to Rihanna, to Kanye, to Emil, he promoted his artist.
And a lot of fans agreed with Envy, saying even if Beyoncé didn't want to jump on a feature with Chloe, something as simple as an Instagram repost could have easily pushed Chloe into a top 50 debut. See, it wouldn't have taken much. But Beyoncé didn't lift a finger for the album. No feature, no promo. She didn't even offer Chloe a spot as an opener during her tour. And now, fans are starting to believe none of this is just coincidence. More and more people are speculating that Beyoncé may have intentionally sabotaged Chloe's career because she didn't want Chloe to outshine Blue Ivy. Why? Because Beyoncé clearly wants Blue to be her successor, not anyone else. And the signs are all there. Blue already has a Grammy. She performed at the Oscars when she was just 10 years old, and now she's actively touring with Beyoncé as part of her background dance crew. But that's not all. And this next part, this is where things take a dark turn. By now, you may have heard those whispers. The rumors that Beyoncé and Jay-Z have sacrificed artists who threaten their throne. One of the most talked about examples? Aaliyah. Many hip-hop fans believe that Jay-Z may have played a role in Aaliyah's downfall so Beyoncé could rise. Aaliyah's ex and Jay's former business partner, Dame Dash, even claimed that Jay tried very hard to get with Aaliyah, but she wasn't interested. And then, tragically, in 2001, Aaliyah lost her life in a plane crash in the Bahamas. That same year, Jay-Z started dating Beyoncé. Now here's where it gets even more disturbing. Many believe Aaliyah was sacrificed. Why? Because eyewitnesses claim she was given a sedative and carried onto the plane, completely unconscious before the fatal crash. According to sources, Aaliyah had been given a sleeping pill and was loaded onto that aircraft while she was still asleep. One of the key witnesses was Kingsley Russell, who was just 13 at the time. He was in the van that drove Aaliyah and her crew to the airport for their return flight to Miami. Kingsley said she didn't even know she was getting on that plane. They took her out of the van and carried her on board, unconscious. She went on that airplane asleep and never woke up. Even Mary J. Blige once said that Aaliyah's death was a spiritual murder. And the way she said it, it sounded like she knew something about that plane crash that the rest of us don't.
Barry, when Aaliyah died for a wrongful death, he got paid $90 million for her death. Am I supposed to say that on TV? For $90 million for her death.
Was that just for his rights or whatever he owned?
What she would have been able to make if she hadn't have died.
Oh, okay. There was a lot of lawsuits.
I guess.
Okay.
But that was the settlement. I wasn't in. I was there when we went over to he got $90 million. He wouldn't stay at the L'Hermitage Hotel. We ate good. in deep mourning, right?
And to make all of this even creepier, let's not forget the allegations made by someone who worked directly with Beyoncé. In 2018, Beyoncé's own former drummer, Kimberly Thompson, who worked with her for 7 years, accused her of practicing extreme witchcraft and even performing sacrifices. Kimberly didn't just speak out. She actually filed for a restraining order against Beyoncé. According to Thompson, the things she witnessed were dark, deeply unsettling, and far beyond what anyone would expect from a pop icon.
Against her. This has been going on since 2006, and it's just been getting worse and worse and worse. And for a very long time, I put this person on a pedestal. I love them. I send emails, publicly, happy birthday and all this stuff. And the entire time, this person was casting spells and manipulating me and controlling my job situations, my relationships, just all kinds of things.
And then, more recently, Beyoncé's former dance captain, Ashley Everett, who worked with her for nearly a decade, was caught liking some shady posts and comments accusing Beyoncé of being a demon. But here's what no one's really talking about. Right after Chloe's Instagram Live, the one where she spoke about sinners and boldly refused to sell her soul, started getting restricted. Another Parkwood artist quietly wiped their socials clean. This artist had a collab lined up with Chloe, a project that mysteriously vanished from the rollout schedule without any explanation. And now, insiders are whispering that maybe, just maybe, they saw something too. So the question is, what is Beyoncé really hiding? Because if Chloe was the first to speak out, she might not be the last.